we're taking all reports, we're looking, in fact, we're following our investigative leads, and wherever the chips will fall where it may.
Investigation then, because he made an allegation that you are a part of it,
I'm saying that anybody can make an allegation, but please allow the investigative process to take its course.
But that process, while it is just starting, appears to have already reached a conclusion that the police cannot be involved.
I do not want to prejudge the finding of the investigation by confirming or denying any details or specific details. That may be unequivocally clear. The police department was not involved in the apprehension or the alleged extradition of Mr. Budna. Certain serious allegations were made, and from our initial investigation, what is being alleged was not conducted by our police officers or were not sanctioned by the senior command of the Belize Police Department. I will unequivocally state that at no time I nor the police department was involved in the apprehension of Budna or to his alleged extradition, and I will maintain that.
But you can see that people, the public, would not have confidence in such an investigation because you may be investigating rogue officers. There is no assurance of transparency once there's an allegation of police officers and police are investigating.
Allegation like this is what creates a vacuum of trust that I must correct, that I must see how we can be more transparent and accountable.
And now joining us on set, we have our news director, Jules Vasquez. Jules, you've spoken to Budna, you've spoken to the commissioner. The commissioner has given an unequivocal denial. Do you sense that there's more to this story while we're here tonight?
Yeah, you know, it's really, we have to make a determination of what happened in the most definitive way we can based on the evidence that we have. Was he picked up by outlaws, by just lawless people, and who maybe were contracted and deposited on that side of the border? Was he picked up by Guatemalan bounty hunters,
Right.
dropped on that side of the border, or was he picked up by law enforcement? Based on, I've been following it closely, I've spoken to everyone involved, and I've spoken to dozens of people off the record, police and police-related people. My conclusion, based on what I have heard, is that police were involved. And that is the only way you can trek 3 hours across Belize and pass multiple checkpoints. I verily believe that when they got to the Arenal checkpoint, that vehicle did pass through the Arenal checkpoint, manned by the SPU on Friday night at 11:30, 12. I believe that a call was made by a police officer in the vehicle who communicated with the police officer on the ground.
Okay.
I believe that. A call was made to a higher up, and the call was, we're going to have to make their man go through.
Okay.
That is what I believe, based on everything I have heard. Now, according to Budna, they called the commissioner. The commissioner you just heard in that story emphatically denies this.
Of course.
All right, accepted. However, the person who I believe, the police officer who, based on my reports, was among those persons in the car, is someone with a relationship with senior officers, with higher ups, and I believe with the compol. That's not a compelling piece of evidence, but I believe also that when he was being abducted, Budna says this, and I don't take his word very easily. I know Joseph Budna for over 25 years. I've been reporting on his various hijinks, and it's not a position I crave. If you say, boy, I want to hear what Budna has to say. I understand he is not an unimpeachable witness, even to his own abduction. I understand he loves drama. But what does he stand to gain in this situation by implicating Belizean authorities? Right? What does he stand to gain? That's the question. And it is my belief that when he was abducted in Orange Walk, within view of the police station, police officers did come out and try and render aid, and the officer who was abducting him told them to stand down, stood them down. I believe he did this. He communicated with them, although he was masked. I believe that. Police are talking. Now,
was there a surveillance footage at any point?
there are multiple surveillance footages.
And why
there
has it
are
not been
from
released
the
to the
Treasury
public?
Building in Orange Walk. There's from the Natural Resources Building in Orange Walk, and we call on the police to release those.
Okay.
To prove me wrong.
Right, of course.
To prove me wrong. To prove that it's criminal actors. But I'm telling you, no criminal actor will take it easily to go across the country through 3 highways for 3 hours at the highest speeds, across multiple checkpoints, if they don't have some way to get clearance. That's no small feat, right? So that is really a mitigating factor. So if there is footage to disprove it, please let us see it. And this brings us to the biggest problem. There is a direct allegation by Mr. Budna of police involvement. He's a critical witness.
He's been calling out the police for some time now.
He has, it's a pattern. He's been doing it for 20 years.
He's been calling out the police.
For 20 years, many times unjustly.
Yes.
Many times
And you have many people who would say that the minute he was deposited in Guatemala, that's justice served.
I understand.
Right.
And there are people who can accurately say he's not a reliable witness even to his own abduction.
Agreed.
So it's not like I jump up and say, I believe Budna. I have spoken to many people and I've been very careful. But they on the balance of probability, I would say it appears there were police actors involved, and that was the only way to get through the checkpoint in Arenal. I won't vouch for the other checkpoints. There were at least 2 that I know of, but the third one in Arenal, that is designed that you have to pass through it, and I believe they passed through it. And I want to see, I'm saying this is the point, there must be an independent investigation. The police cannot investigate themselves in a matter of sovereign, this is a sovereign failure where we have delivered a citizen, or where a citizen has been delivered into the hands of a country that claims us.
Do we have a precedent for this where we have investigated senior higher-ups or the police in itself? Because then you're right.
There is no precedent
for an
independent investigation of the police.
Okay.
But this has been a problem for a long time that I hold that the police cannot investigate themselves.
Of course.
And we are now at an apex event where Mr. Budna is implicating the Commissioner of Police directly. It's not something I take lightly, and I take the Commissioner's denial very seriously. But his performance, I understand, he's not the most
seasoned
gifted,
in the
not
seated.
the most seasoned or gifted person in front of the camera. I understand that. But his performance, I would say yesterday, was not convincing.
Were there glaring
there were
inconsistencies? Yes. Were there some
He starts a
directions?
SUV, he then says it's a car. Okay, we all make them. He then says Arenal. There are 3 roads to get there, and you can go through Santa Rosa. Man, Santa Rosa, they're way over there. That's not consistent with the timeline. Santa Rosa, you go through Bullet Tree Road, and that is the road for cattle smuggling. That's where the cattle are smuggled through. That's not a credible alternate road. Santa Rosa is many miles of jungle road away from RNL. It's literally almost it's going in the other direction. Right, it's going more north. But my point is that I find that to be a deflection for him when he knows that checkpoint in RNL is strategically placed. No matter which direction you come from, you have to go through there. And you're in a vehicle with multiple people and a hostage. It's not like one person moving with a knapsack of marijuana, as often happens in that area. It's a vehicle moving with 4 men. Right? That is Budna's claim. And that is consistent with what it would take. So that's what concerns me, the inconsistencies in what he said. And then, as you all just saw in the story, he also says that, you know, it's a preliminary investigation, we'll make no prejudgments. And then he declares definitively
Police are not involved.
no police are involved.
Right.
So that's why I'm saying we're at a funny point, because police cannot investigate themselves. The top copy country has already said police are not involved when there is more than a hint of strong evidence, and there's a direct allegation that police are involved. So I am saying, prove me wrong. I'm fine with that, but let us have an independent investigation. No one in the country will be satisfied with a police investigation of a police misdeed. We have to have better than that.
So should we, though, as a people divided on the matter, because we are divided,
yes, because of Budna's...
Should we dismiss the messenger and focus on the message? Because really, it hits at the trust of our police. And the question really is, can we really afford to ignore it? So can we really afford to ignore it?
No, we can't. There has to be a proper public ventilation of this. The public has to see the security video. The public has to be convinced, and we have to see the statement or the report from the officer at the RNL checkpoint. That has to be publicized so that we can have our satisfaction. I'm saying the public has to be satisfied, because if the police are involved in an extrajudicial extradition, as I fear they may be, it's a problem. It's a huge problem. And Budna, let us, despite his total, he's a criminal, he's a convicted criminal, all these things,
of course.
But he was a stone in the shoe of many politicians, especially in the north, right? He was really, he was really a problem and an annoyance. So
what is our takeaway if we're to look at what you're asking, and what do you think we need as a people moving forward?
I just think we really
need to see the video.
Yeah, we need an independent investigation.
And we need
That's what I would say. Okay. An independent, credible investigation. It cannot be one conducted by the police. He said police are not involved and he's involved. Okay, but we're going to investigate that.
Who will move the needle on this?
Yeah, well, it would have to be the Prime Minister, and I encourage him to satisfy the public curiosity, not curiosity, the need for answers, and have an proper independent investigation, not an independent person on an investigative panel, an independent investigation independent of police, because it stinks. And there is the one other factor that we have to introduce, that Budna insists the day before he saw the vehicle following him, and he gave the particulars of the vehicle to the officer commanding Orange Walk. I asked Mr. Commissioner Rosado this very squarely, and I didn't feel satisfied with his answer.
Was it logged?
Well, I'm saying that the things are sent by text, right? But but he said it hasn't come up. And I asked him again, and he said not as far as he knows. Like, this is an important definitive. This is an important definitive. So there are many questions, but there is a compelling and growing body of information that the public knows, and accounts that I have heard, credible accounts. I don't take these things lightly. I don't jump after any shadow, which indicate that there was high-level police involvement. Mr. Budna says he was handed over along with a file, that it was almost a formal handover. That's the characterization he gives. I understand he has a police problem. I understand his worldview is biased against the police. Yes, that's fair. But this is the account he gave. Right?
I know I'm digressing here, but the question I want to ask is, have Budna been to be around for so long after he was wanted in Mala? Is there a legitimate reason it has never been called in?
Well, to be honest, and we have to honest, I don't know. I don't know who allowed because
he didn't move in silence. So it seemed quite...
Well, the Minister of Home Affairs and the Minister of both had bilateral meetings 1 week ago with their counterparts, with their Guatemalan counterparts. They had it. No press release was made, and it hasn't been discussed publicly, but they had bilateral meetings. Did this come up in the bilateral meetings? Right? That there's a Guatemalan fugitive living in Belize that we would want back. Or, I'm just saying, I'm putting it out there. Or that we have a fugitive, do you all want him? Because we don't want him. I'm just saying,
fair enough.
Did that come up? Bilateral meetings were held last week. So all these things we have to look at, but I'm saying that the solution for this is an independent investigation, and I call on the Prime Minister to authorize this. I think that is the only way the public will be satisfied. And this is not idle curiosity. This is elemental sovereign acts that have to be, we have to determine it with certitude. What happened? Who were the actors? We have to have a fearless, independent investigation.
So we do have to look away from the messenger and stick with really just the message for those who are struggling, because there are some who are.
It's a struggle for me every single day.
Same. Jules, thank you so much for being here. And those are Budna's claim. Today we went more closely over the Commissioner's denials from the press briefing yesterday, where we found a number of glaring inconsistency and telling directions. The weight of the account so far paints a very sketchy picture of police performance. Is there a pattern of police bias against Joseph Budna? Now, don't get us wrong, Budna is a convicted criminal in Belize and in Guatemala, and he has multiple pending charges here in Belize, but every citizen is entitled to equal protection under the law. And did he have it? We asked the Compol about that.
Were the police actively biased against Mr. Budna because of his criminal history?
We did receive, I can confirm that we did receive cross complaint from both sides, and it was under investigation. And I do know that both individuals were questioned as to the circumstances of what transpired.
But certainly it did happen in private property. The one that happened on a public road, and it's clear on camera what happened. Like, I'm saying that if you don't want to charge somebody, you can find a million reasons, but everybody can see what happened on camera. Was there a bias in the police?
What the camera might have shown might not have captured what transpired before. And a thorough investigation was conducted, and I'm sure that the investigators is still trying to gather everything together to see what exactly has transpired, because there's two versions to the story, to what transpired.
And that's it for the news on Joseph Budna tonight. When we come back, we'll take you to a private farm where acres of forest and earth have been flattened by illegal loggers. Don't go away.
Please, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
To earn V-Bucks, you must make purchases at any Benny's locations or its entities near you. The more you spend, the more you earn. You also get double the V-Bucks on promotional days. Multiple purchases completed in a single day cannot be combined and will be considered separately. Benny's is committed to offering you competitive prices on all your purchases. No value is added with V-Bucks. To learn more, visit our website at www.vbucks.bz. Remember, loyalty is always rewarding with V-Bucks. Brought to you by Benny's, quality and savings.
All right, on the one fun day on, the window open and the light may turn off. You look like you listen to me, Jamie.
Not only that, I even get a new coffee mug where keep my coffee hot all day.
I'm impressed. You don't look like you're so hard here.
Better than that, BL can change my meter to one of their new smart meter and call it the AMI.
Oh, I hear about it on TV for a BL ad, you know.
Yes, man, it don't reach the man better to change it right now. Let's go check it out.
Hey guys, I'm almost done here.
So that when you reach my area,
We're upgrading meters across Breeze, house by house, business by business. Always look out for BL logo, uniforms, and IDs. BL will make you know when we're in the area. The EMI meter rollout is a part of BL strategy to modernize our energy services.
you don't need to come in at my house, right?
Come in your house, boss, only if you got something good for you.
BEL, bringing you a brighter tomorrow.
However you travel, you're home. Book now and save 50% only at Naya.
Europe!
These charter remains aren't
We're navigating along the coast.
This morning, the 2023.
Good evening.
Good evening, I'm Shireen Khalsil,
And here's what's ahead for you on 7 News Tonight. We've got details of these and other stories in our newscast for tonight. Good evening with your news and the bureaucrat.
Please, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Tenga la seguridad de que sus billetes actuales siguen siendo válidos y circularán junto a los nuevos. Si tienen los billetes antiguos, los podrán seguir usando en sus transacciones diarias durante